Hey, howdy folks, Rampage here to talk to you about Impact Wrestling for August 11th, 2016. So let's take a look at Impact tonight. A little bit of a weird night. I'm starting to get into the groove more with Impact now that I'm watching it much more regularly. So there's some things I'm understanding, some things just a little bit weird that I don't always agree with, but still an enjoyable show. Tonight was their semi-live show because this was their the start of their next set of tapings. So, what do we start off with? We start off with a James Storm vignette, and these run throughout the course of the entire night. There's probably one almost every segment. These vignettes are talking about how long James Storm has been with Impact, the fact that he hasn't had a world title match in 5 years, that he's previously beat Kurt Angle for the title. I really enjoyed it. It built up this sense of how much this means to James Storm and how big of a deal this match is. I feel like a lot of times in wrestling we don't emphasize how big of a deal something is, and they did a really good job with this here. From there we go to the ringside and we have Ethan Carter III comes out, EC3. Basically comes out, really hypes up the crowd, lets them cheer for him, and he's totally behind it, and he just revels in their cheers. Sits down on the ring steps outside, and I think he called it Carter's Corner, Ethan's Edge, something like that. There's alliteration on it. But basically just saying you know what, I won my match, I'm going to go to Bound for Glory, I'm going to be the champ again, I'm going to do everything. Like, this was him, sort of felt like doing it the right way this time. He even references his old EC3 for Champ presidential campaign, which I thought was great. However, at that point, he does get attacked by the Miracle Mike Bennett and Moose. And shortly thereafter, out to his rescue comes Eddie Edwards. Four of them brawl for a bit, gets broken up. They're supposed to have a match later that night. We're going to have that match next. Boom, commercial break, we come back. We do have our match. I enjoyed this. This was a fun match. At the end, EC3 is thrown into the stairs and sort of taken out for a moment, at which point Moose connect with this crazy sort of sky-high spine buster, pulling the guy off of the top rope. But Mike Bennett gets the pinfall because he tags himself in right before the move happens. I love it. It gets Mike Bennett over. It sows seeds of dissent with Moose. I dig it. Eminem? Moose and Miracle? What do you guys think? I like it. It's like Morrison and Mercury all over again. From there, we have one of my favorite things. All the new Bound for Glory promos are narrated by Broken Matt Hardy. And they sort of end with this, "Bound for Glory, I knew you would come." Broken Matt Hardy is one of those gimmicks that I really didn't think was going to work at first, and then week after week, it just grows on me and grows on me. And it was amazing. Finally, we have our reveal of who the mystery person joining TNA is. If you saw the Rolling Stone article yesterday, you heard the music, the Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. And most people immediately recognize that as Damien Sandow. And yes, it is him. He comes out, and the announcers start name-dropping people. Like, yeah, this is the hottest free agent these days, with the likes of Cody Rhodes, Stu Bennett, Ryan Reeves, all like being free agents. This is the person that we thought was a complete mystery. We never expected to see him here. But Sandow shows up. He's now Aaron Rex. I guess Aaron is his real name. So that's pretty cool. He basically cuts this promo telling the WWE not to worry. He's not going to talk about them. He's here to talk about him. He's here to do what the fans want. He's like, I always put the fans first. If entertaining the fans is wrong, I don't want to be right. And then he name drops a couple of people that are already here, which is interesting, being EC3, Drew Galloway, and even Jeff Hardy, as people sort of the WWE have turned away and shunned in the past. Which is interesting because Galloway had a so-so run with the WWE. He was set up to be the chosen one. I don't know what really happened there. EC3 as Derek Bateman. My God, like him coming to Impact and becoming EC3 was amazing. If Sandow has even a portion of that transformational process, it's going to be an absolutely amazing to see. But yeah, and basically he just states that he's here and he's going to do things his way, and it's pretty rad to see. I look forward to seeing more of what he does now that he's part of Impact. From there, we have a backstage pro. We have Maria once again berating Allie for what kind of coffee she wants. No soy milk. Remember this, no soy milk. But I'm digging it because I know there's going to be some point where Allie snaps and it's going to become wonderful. But at that point, Gail Kim does show up and basically gets in Maria's face. Who's going to make me fight this time? What's it going to be? 3-on-1, 4-on-1? To which point, Maria's like, no, it's going to be a 1-on-1 match, but it's no DQ. At which point, Marty Bell clocks her from behind with a collapsible baton. Cold as ice move, but I love it. I love the bit of attitude from Marty Bell here. We do get that match next. I'm sort of digging Marty Bell's new attitude. Last time I was really seriously watching Impact, she was part of the Dollhouse still. So seeing her out on her own, I'm digging this. And I liked the match with Gail Kim. She had the upper hand for most of it, basically because, heck, she jumped her from behind beforehand. But towards the end, Gail Kim starts getting the upper hand. Maria jumps up on the apron, shoves Gail Kim off the top rope, then yells at Allie to get in there and hands her the baton. I love how timid Allie is, like trying to shuffle over there and try to do something about it. In the end, Gail Kim grabs her, shoves her into Marty Bell, confusion, kerfuffle, roll up, 1, 2, 3, Gail Kim gets the win. Post-match beatdown, of course, from Maria and Marty Bell and Allie. Jade shows up for the rescue, cleans house. I love Jade, I think she tosses Marty Bell out. And at which point, Allie runs up behind her and does the daintiest little shove ever. And Jade just turns around, and it's a beautiful moment. But Maria is super angry, and she's set up next week to be Jade versus Gail Kim. Once again, this is Gail Kim's road to the TNA Hall of Fame at Bound for Glory. And if she is still undefeated by the time Bound for Glory rolls around, she gets a Knockouts title match, I think is what's going on right now. And if any of the Knockouts defeat her before then, they will be greatly rewarded. What that reward is has still not been specified. From there, we have an amazing Broken Matt Hardy promo. I love that he drives up to the car, talking to somebody, gets out of the car, and lets Vanguard 1 out of the back seat. That's amazing that he drives around with Vanguard 1. Basically, he then sends Vanguard 1 back to North Carolina to look after Rebby and King Maxwell because he had a premonition that Decay was going to kidnap him. So he has now been sent home. Once again, amazing Broken Matt Hardy promo, basically still blaming Jeff for costing the tag team titles and says he has to win them back. We then cut to Matt Hardy in the ring, or he comes down to the ring, does the same thing, does the introduction. Now he's the one screaming obsolete at Jeff during the entrance because Rebby isn't there. Jeff basically tries to get him to bring back the old Matt Hardy. He's like, what's going on here? You're not a wizard, you're not a sorcerer, you're not 1,000 years old, you can't do magic. And Matt Hardy basically laughs at him. It's wonderful. At that point, the Tribunal shows up, being Basil Baraka and Baron Dax, led by Al Snow. Sets up a match. Once again, Matt Hardy does not involve himself. He's standing on the outside. Jeff does the entire thing by himself. It does work. He hits the Twist of... I think he wins this one by hitting the Twist of Fate. But the match itself is inconsequential. They announced there's a 4-way tag match next week to determine the new #1 contender. The Hardys are involved, as well as the Tribunal. And, I didn't write down those other two, so we'll cover that next week when it happens. But post-match, Jeff just basically keeps twist of fating the guys over and over again, asking Matt, is this what you want? Is this what you want? Then he basically throws Al Snow out of the ring, puts him on a table, splashes him on the table. Is this what you want? Then he gets up on the ring post, and he's like, you know what? You think you can hurt me? No one can hurt me worse than I can hurt me. And then he swanton bombs himself through an empty table. To which he then starts laughing, and he embraces being Brother Nero. And Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy are going to do wonderful psychotic things now. Probably to the Decay, because I think Crazy Decay and Broken Hardys is going to be an amazing combination, and I look forward to seeing what happens with that. From there, we get a really creepy Decay promo, also feeding the idea that these two teams are going to be associated. I like the sort of side-by-side nature of that. With Rosemary saying she's not like most girls. Nia Jax, I think she's looking at you with that. As well as basically going over that what happened to Bram he had coming, essentially. Creepy promo, still looking forward to the Decay. Can't wait to see where they go next. After that, Drew Galloway comes out. He cuts a promo, essentially calling out EC3 for ruining his chances of being in Bound for Glory, which he did, and challenging him for his spot at Bound for Glory. There is not one single good reason EC3 should accept this challenge. None. Just like Ziggler shouldn't have accepted Bray Wyatt's challenge 2 weeks ago. But EC3 will probably take this challenge because that's the way wrestling works, and that's the way stories work. From there, we get our match of the evening, our main event. Titles versus title. Bobby Lashley with the world title and the X Division title taking on James Storm, who is your King of the Mountain champion. Great match back and forth. Probably the best match I've seen in TNA in a long time. Lots of false finishes, lots of intensity. I love the spot where, it starts off with James Storm getting jumped by Lashley. Then he turns and super kicks him. Last call super kick. And he hits him for, rolls him up for the pinfall, but the referee's still busy getting Jeremy Borash out of the ring, so he doesn't get the 3 count there. Another spot later on where he super kicks Lashley into the ropes. Lashley bounces off, hits a second super kick, and Lashley still won't stay down. Lashley's a monster at this point. In the end, he does hit the spear on James Storm, and Lashley now holds all 3 titles. They're saying he holds all the Golden Impact. But it's not true. Sienna is your women's champion. Sienna has gold. I'm waiting for it. Sienna versus Bobby Lashley. All the titles in the line. Come on, TNA. Make this happen. But after that, Aaron Rex, formerly known as Damien Sandow, does show up and does the stare down with Bobby Lashley. So we will see where this leads, because he has to defend his title Bound for Glory, but we've got 51 days between now and then. So plenty of time for a sub-feud in there. But that's my review of Impact this week. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. Please like, please subscribe, please share on your social media channels. Use the hashtag right there, Rampage Reviews, and we will see you folks next time.